Morning. This is Ian R. Crane. Today is, I've lost track of days, it must be Monday the 15th of January 2018, and I'm standing here in the field of the Misperton Springs protection camp. And not sure if you can see behind me, but last night we had a Barton Moss moment. We got absolutely battered by winds. Came out of nowhere, although I'm sure if we'd have checked the weather forecast we might have got a hint, but from a calm evening to literally gusts of 40-50 mile an hour, took our gazebo, took a trailer tent, took a caravan awning, so a few running repairs to do today. So unfortunately, you know, as is always the case, it's the startup phase of a protection camp where we have expenses, and unfortunately, of course, at this early stage we haven't yet set up the formal funding campaigns. So if you would like to help us get this camp established and get it properly winterized, please go to frackingnightmare.com, and on the top left hand side of the page there you'll see the place where you can donate to the fracking awareness campaign. And obviously any donations going into the fracking awareness campaign right now are coming straight to the Misperton Springs protection camp. So that would be wonderful if you could do that for us. And this evening there is a meeting of Frack Free Nottinghamshire in the Lincolnshire Poacher in Nottingham. If you're looking for the details, then go to the Frack Free Nottinghamshire Facebook page. But we're going to take a trip down there this evening, introduce ourselves, and obviously invite the people of Nottingham to come up and support us here at Misperton Springs. Big old county, Nottingham. It's about an hour or so to the south, but nonetheless, you know, we're here in support of the people of Nottinghamshire, but we are very, very close. We're in the corners of Nottinghamshire, and just literally a few hundred yards in that direction is North Lincolnshire, and a few hundred yards in that direction is South Yorkshire. So we're right on the cusp of the three counties here. Well, what else is going on? Well, interestingly, still no decision from Greg Clark. Perhaps he's just hoping to get fired from his role of Secretary of State for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. He didn't get reshuffled because Jeremy Hunt wanted to finish the job of destroying the NHS, and I think he's well on the way there. I mean, if there is anybody who thinks that the NHS is in great shape, then you know, please take a trip down to your local A&E. It's like walking into something out of the third world. I really feel for the people working in the NHS. Of course, my eldest daughter is a midwife, and she is so disenchanted with the NHS that she is in the process of looking outside of this country for a further career opportunity. But that meant that Greg Clark is still very much in the chair today, and today is day 68 of the since the application by Barclays Bank was submitted to Greg Clark for being approved for fracking at Kirby, Misperton. So the villagers there absolutely on tenterhooks, North Yorkshire on tenterhooks, and obviously I think people are perhaps hoping that the longer this goes on, the less likely it is that Greg Clark is going to sign it off. And of course, even if he does, then there will certainly be a lot of freedom of information requests that are submitted to find out exactly what was considered and why the delays took so long. Of course, the reality is that the pad is unsafe. It's been reviewed by many health and safety professionals, admittedly not in person, but looking at the aerial photographs, and not one has considered it to be an area where safe working practices can be adhered to. To say nothing of the fact that the emergency services have no possibility of accessing the site beyond the entrance to the KM8 mezzanine. So there are so many reasons why Greg Clark should man up and have the courage to say, you know what, I know this is a government agenda, I know that this is the first application, and consequently, you know, we have to make sure, if we're going to sign it off, that everything is done right, all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, and there's no possibility of anything going wrong. Well, that isn't the case at Kirby Misperton. The reality is, if I have ever seen a well site where things are likely to go wrong, it's Kirby Misperton. So I mean, there's part of me that says, go on Greg, sign it off, because perhaps then within a few weeks we'll see why it is that this industry should be banned completely throughout the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And you know, it's England right now that's dragging its heels. So we're watching that space at Kirby Misperton. Of course, if Greg Clark does sign it off, then we, and I hope thousands of others, will be going up to Kirby Misperton to witness this sad, historic moment if it occurs. But also, on the converse to that, is we'll be making our way to Kirby Misperton to celebrate if Greg Clark does the right thing and refuses to sign it off. Now, across the other side of the Pennines, Cuadrilla have been making great PR capital out of the fact that they have distributed the first £100,000 of the bribery money payable to residents in the immediate vicinity of the well site. Now, apparently the average payout is around about 400 and something pounds. You know, 400 pounds, it didn't come as a gift. It came, I am absolutely certain, with a requirement for receipt and release to say that here you go, it's 400 quid. But in the event that anything transpires which has a negative impact on your property, on your health, on your pet's health, then basically you have no recourse against us, because we've given you a one-off payment of 400 quid. So shut up, go away, and we'll just crack on. This is the attitude of the corporatocracy. So £400, you know, the house prices in that area have dropped by probably more than 10, in some cases maybe even 100 times that, due to the presence of Cuadrilla along Preston New Road. And that's certainly the case at Kirby Misperton. So, you know, beware people bearing gifts, particularly representing the oil and gas industry. Meanwhile, let's just go back to Kirby Misperton for a second, because Third Energy, still apparently no sign of their accounts. Yet another reason why Greg Clark should pull the plug. So, you know, let's keep the pressure on the Home Office there, because the company, Third Energy UK Limited and Third Energy Offshore Limited, should be dissolved. You know, it is very clear that the management of these companies is not competent. Third Energy have just taken an additional, I believe it's 7.5 million from one of the subsidiaries of Barclays Bank. So this is Barclays Bank lending Barclays Bank another 7.5 million. Of course, this is the bit of Barclays Bank trading as Third Energy. But I would suspect that they've had to give them this cash injection just to pay the rental fees for all the kit that's sitting on the well site, because, as I've suggested many times over the last few weeks, at a conservative estimate, it's costing Third Energy something in the region of probably in excess of £100,000 a day, and that's a very conservative estimate. So at 68 days, conservative estimate, close on £7 million, and what have they borrowed? £7.5 million. And we saw last week the crane that has been sitting on site for that time being moved off site. So maybe that company was getting a little bit nervous that they weren't going to get paid. And also, of course, I should also perhaps mention the ongoing Doggate affair. Of course, we had Flaregate and Teagate at Barton Moss, and now we have Doggate at Kirby Misperton. And of course, this is the security companies desperately trying to demonise the protectors, yet failing to report that the protectors had been assaulted by one of the security guards, spitting in the face of the protectors. Now, I took a brief trip back to Kirby, Misperton last week, and you know, I am categorically assured that there was no attempt to poison the dog. Of course, I didn't believe it for one moment anyway. And as I said at the time, it is no coincidence whatsoever that this allegation should come against the individual who had 24 hours earlier reported the fact that he had been spat at. With the video evidence submitted to the police, he'd been spat at by one of the next level security services personnel. It's very sad when you know, things get escalated like this, but at the same time it's indicative of the fact that the anti-fracking protection community is having such a significant effect. We know Theresa May wants shot of this, and but she's desperate to find the catalyst that enables this industry to be shut down. But it's not her agenda, it's an agenda she inherited. So anyway, that's it from me today. I got to get back to work here. We've got some running repairs to do on the camp. And as I said, if you feel that you can help or wish to help contribute to us getting this camp properly set up and properly winterized, then please go to frackingnightmare.com and make a donation, however small, all gratefully received. Well, thanks very much, and I will catch with you tomorrow, and hopefully it's more of the same with Greg Clark still not signing off on the application to frack at Kirby, Misperton. You guys have a good day, and we'll catch you tomorrow, and hopefully we've got some of the repairs completed by then. Take care.